Well, this film doesn't really deserve a sketch at the start of its review / rant. All I can say is, yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers. You ruined it. You ruined Die Hard. Not you personally, but the people who made this film. Fuck this. Well, still, Die Hard 6 has apparently been cancelled, so, at least for now, so, yeah. This is the last one, or at least for now. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Nick here, and welcome to my rant. Sorry, I can't keep the charade up. I just can't look cross unless I'm trying to act. Or I'm generally cross. I'm sorry. The review. Okay, I'm trying to try and be cross. I'm just finding me trying to be cross funny. Okay. That's better? Good. Okay, welcome to my rant on Die Hard 5. And I keep doing that. A good day to Die Hard. And I'm so glad that the UK title for Die Hard 4 is Die Hard 4.0 because if that was Live Free or Die Hard over here, then I keep getting that one muddled up as well. Anyway, a good day to Die Hard. And just for clarification, I've watched both the theatrical and harder extended cut versions of the film for this review, in fact. That was the plan to begin with, before the computer broke down. Thankfully, I was able to do the reaction after watching both versions. But yeah, a good day to Die Hard. Okay, for starters, I think the first 15 to 20 minutes are actually pretty good. It's actually nice build-up, feels like a good spy film. It starts off like a good spy film. It's when it actually gets to the breakout scene. After that, it's more when Jack and John meet. That's when the film starts going downhill. I think the first 15 to 20 minutes are good. It's looking impressive. It's starting something interesting. It's a bit different from what we're used to in this series, but, you know, different routes, different take. You know, let's see how this goes. It's actually got some really good, interesting stuff, and actually the stuff with John is pretty interesting. And I like the scenes with Lucy, although not in the extended cut because she's cut from the extended cut for some reason. And this is supposed to be the extended cut. I think, as I mentioned in my reaction, I think I like Lucy and, to an extent, Jack more for the fact of their potential in a future film rather than what they do get in the films they're in. But I think they have good potential, and I think that's why I care about them so much, especially Lucy. For most of this film, I'm not really caring about Jack. I actually care more about what he could be, like in a future film. Whether both characters could be great allies, possibly even fight side by side with their father against villains. But I'll get onto how Jack is in this film in a bit. I just wanted to explain that I think I like both characters more for the fact that I think they have potential to be even better than what we've got with them in these two films. That I don't know why. I just feel that way. That's something personal. Anyway, we move into the rest of the film, and we've got some fun bits. There's a nice nod to Frank Sinatra from The Taxi Driver, which is a nice tie into The Detective, which the sequel book of which was the inspiration for Die Hard, and that film was originally going to be a sequel to the film The Detective. And like I said, if they're in a reaction. I think if there was going to be a Die Hard 6, they with what they had planned, part of it was going to be a prequel, set in the 70s. So I think they should have used stuff from the detective in those scenes, whilst having the creative original stuff in the later scenes. Apparently, Die Hard 6 has been cancelled though. So okay, moving on. So then we get to when Jack and John meet in Russia. And yeah, I think they shouldn't have met then. I think they should have met. Well, I think John should have seen Jack and what's his face, Gororich. I can't remember his Gororich. I think. I'll call him the guy who was imprisoned, and later turns out to be a surprise villain that Jack's trying to help out. But I think John should have seen them drive off, and then he sees the villains following them. The guys who want to get Yuri, who's technically with him, but they're technically with his daughter, and she's with him. But I don't know, it's complicated. I might explain later. So yeah, I think that should have happened, and then John follows in pursuit, and they see each other for the first time on the road bridge. Yeah, because when they certainly, Jack is kind of really abrasive to John. I don't know what it is with the kids being so abrasive against their father. I mean, what was the problem? I can understand Holly in Die Hard 1, and I could possibly understand Die Hard 3, but I don't really know why the kids are so so pissed with their father. There is sort of an explanation later on that John says he's worked so hard, so he's tries to make him happy, tries to do well for them, but he doesn't really have much time for them. And yeah, there is some sort of a sense in the first film that he's a workaholic. In a way, he's very dedicated to his job, but which sort of gives the rift between him and his wife in the first film, in a way. But besides that one doesn't really hold up that much. And yeah, I don't know. I think there was something missing. I think it came between the third and fourth films. Something was missing that kind of had the big shift between John and the rest of his family. A big shift. It was sort of hinted at the end during Die Hard 3 with Vengeance. And then it was mentioned that he and Holly got a divorce, and Lucy now hates him for some reason, and now Jack as well. I think we should have had another film in between to explain this, or at least had a better explanation of the events that went down. But now it's just like they're really abrasive to each other, and this really doesn't help the tone of the film. I mean, suppose the story is about the father and son reconnecting, coming together, and helping out after being on really bad terms. But I don't know, it doesn't quite work, especially after it was handled a bit better in the third film. I mean, they didn't really connect. They got back. John and Lucy sort of were back on good terms at the end of that film, but they didn't really have that much of a develop the connection over a little bit. So I suppose they tried to do that here, except they go really abrasive to start with, and it starts making both characters a little unlikable earlier on, and then later down the line, when they are trying to connecting back again, they're not that interesting. Yeah, how could you make John McClane not interesting? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, Bruce Willis, bless him, tries his best in the role, and Jai Courtney is okay as Jack. I think they just had bad direction for the most parts, along with a bad script, of course. And speaking of which, the cast in this film is hot or cold. I mean, there are some times where some of them are pretty cool. Not cool, pretty good. Like this Russian mercenary who hates the Americans. He's actually a pretty good actor. And the guy, Yuri character, he's a good actor. And the Russian politician who barely does anything. But he's supposed to be another big bad. He's all right. The daughter's kind of a hot and cold one, to be honest. The characters, on the other hand, aren't that interesting. Apart from maybe Yuri, the guy that Jack tries to spring. But no, they're not really interesting. They're not really worth following. Nowhere near as good, compelling as Hans Gruber, or Simon, or any of the other villains from the other films. I thought Die Hard 2 had too many villains. This film, Christ. At least Die Hard 2's villains were interesting. I'll say that. Die Hard 2's villains had interesting and had pretty good plan. This time it's actually quite dull. Yeah, stuff concerning Chernobyl. By the way, wouldn't Jack and John have radiation around them during those scenes? Weird. And there's a swimming pool that's only there just to be, well, a soft landing for the two of them. And by the way, so much CGI in that final scene. There was so much. Can't you guys do practical? And I thought the last film did too many explosions and visual effects. And yeah, and it's actually not that much of an interesting fight. During the extended cut, I kind of just I didn't really notice that much. And noticed what was going on most of the time. Yeah. And I will say the extended cut's a little bit better. I think along extra violence and swearing, it makes it more of a Die Hard film in a way, which was sort of why I thought 4 was less of a Die Hard film than 5 before rewatches. However, rewatching them, I thought 4 was more in the plot than maybe it was the tone I was more worried about, more I was thinking about, whilst in plot-wise, 4 is more so. Also, I have to comment on how the film is shot. Some good shots, but the editing, holy shit, this editing is awful. There's so many. It's trying to be another Bourne knockoff. That basically, just like Quantum of Solace, it's the editing just shit editing, especially in some of the earlier action scenes. Just slow down. So let's get a good shot and fuck. And I like the idea it's trying to go to Moscow. It's a Moscow set film. Takes it out of the US for a bit. But the plot it's been given, and also Chernobyl, but the plot it's been given is just dull and boring. It's also badly shot and badly edited, especially the editing. There are some decent moments, but it's just... Yeah, the final scene was pretty cool in the theatrical cut. Pretty cool with the 3 McClane family members of the McClane family, minus Holly, walking together at the airport. That's a pretty cool scene, and that would be a brilliant scene that would tie into a projected 6th film, in my opinion. At least one I'd write anyway. But yeah, but the rest of the film, it's a blow. It's a blow fest. And considering Die Hard 6 is cancelled, possibly maybe it'll be made eventually. But considering it's cancelled at the moment, this is the last film in this series. What a whimper to end on. After 4 fantastic movies, they end with this. And of course, yeah, this wasn't going to be the end. There was supposed to be one more, but I don't know if that's coming anymore. So yeah, this is what we're going to have for the foreseeable future. Fuck. I'm going to give A Good Day to Die Hard a 3 out of 10. Some good bits. That first 15 to 20 minutes were actually pretty good, and Bruce Willis tries his best. And there are some interesting ideas, but the plot is awful. It's shot terribly. The editing is awful. Actors are hot and cold. Characters are hot and cold, and yeah, it's a bit messy, and also it's very grey. I don't know if that was just the weather on the days of shooting, but the film has a very grey colour palette to it, at least during the Moscow stuff. So I don't know. I don't know if that was due to the weather or if that was a colour palette added in editing. So yeah, it doesn't really help, does it? So yeah, that's Die Hard. A Good Day to Die Hard, the potentially final Die Hard film. What a way to end the series on a whimper. I shall be ranking the Die Hard quintology next, in my next video. Next review will be something a little bit better, but also something not quite as... something that's easy, another weakest installment of its respective franchise, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Yeah, I prefer this one to A Good Day to Die Hard, but it's easily the weakest Star Wars film of the Star Wars saga, and also including the anthology films. Can't comment on the Ewoks films, the Holiday Special, or the Clone Wars, but out of the currently 8 will be 9, Skywalker Saga, and the 2 anthology films. This is the weakest, but it's still a lot better than A Good Day to Die Hard. So I'll see you guys next time for Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, unless something else comes up, like Back to the Future Part 2 or something. See you guys next time. Goodbye. Don't forget to click below to subscribe to the official Nicholas Payne Retro YouTube channel. This film's not even worth giving a sketched... Start again. Oh, shut up! Well, this film is not worth having a sketch at the start of its review. /rant! All I can say is, yippee-ki-yah, fuck. Starting again. Well, this film doesn't deserve to have a fuck. Well, this film isn't very deserving of a sketch at the end of it. What the fuck? Well, this review... Fuck. Okay, that was the Die Hard 5, A Good Day to Die Hard sketch. But... bad timing. At least one I write. What a way to end on a whimper.